Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Tamar Zion. Some of you might know me as Tamar Zion Coaching, Tamar Zion from TZTALKS, or just Tamar Zion. It's good to be here. I'm originally from Israel. I've been living in Florida since 1993, and I'm fairly new to the Orlando area. Most of those years were spent in South Florida. And I am here as a life coach / transformation coach. I focus on communication and relationship. And when I mean relationship, I zoom more or less on the relationship we have with ourselves, the communication that we have with ourselves, because that basically reflects or rather the relationship you have with other people is more or less of a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. And that's just one aspect. And also mindset. I take great pleasure in helping you look at things from a different angle, and that helps tremendously when it comes to therapy, when it comes to letting go, changing habits, and so on. And generally in your personal growth. And of course, I speak from my own experience and my own transformation, and I'm here to share it with you. And we will be discussing different topics. Today's topic is going to be choices that make you happy. If you could take a look at your life and see, basically, we all know that where we are today is a result of our choices. We don't always sit and think about it in a deep manner. Sometimes we dwell over choices we made that were wrong. We drown in an ocean of regret, and that's not going to do anything. That can't change the past. You can learn from the past, but basically today is a picture of the outcome of those choices. And by the way, at the end of the session, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions and acknowledge your comments. So, my first question to you would be, do you ever find yourself making a choice that you feel like you're not completely at peace with this choice? You feel like you're doing it to maybe impress someone or to please someone else? Do you find yourself telling yourself, oh, whatever, I'm already used to it and I can handle it and this and that, but it's not genuine. It's not something that it, makes you feel happy. Well, that wasn't the word I was looking for. It's do you make choices with from the bottom of your heart, or does it come from pressure from the way that we're living, especially these days? Do you feel that you're not happy with your choices, basically? I can tell you that from my communication with so many people and listening to so many people and my own experience, I was there. Yes. We end up doing so many things that we didn't really want to do. But I also notice that we don't stop and say, why am I doing this? Why did I make that choice? Or why am I having a hard time understanding what I want? Making a choice from the bottom of my heart, not in order to please someone, not because it's according to someone else's way of life or someone else's belief system that was maybe applied on us when we grew up, and we don't stop and think about that. And why is that? Why is that? We are creatures of habit, and we can get into a routine and we can adapt, and it's fine, it's no big deal. And it's no big deal, it's no big deal, we can handle this, we can do that. Oh, that's, that's peanuts, and that's nothing, and that's, and that accumulates, okay? And it accumulates inside of us. And it starts to take a toll on our well-being, because we're not in communication with ourselves. We're not communicating. We're not hearing us. We're hearing everyone else and everything else, but we're not really stopping to listen to, what do I want? What choice will make me happy? Do I end up going to school because my mom wants me to go to school? Do I end up taking this job because it looks good to other people? Am I waking up in the morning going to this job because it's going to make my spouse happy, because it pays the bill, but I'm not necessarily happy? Do you ever take that a step forward and ask yourself, can it be different? Can I actually be in touch with that part of myself and say, okay, what do I want? What is going to make me happy? I don't know if you saw one of my last videos, my short 1-minute videos was about that, um, I'll give you a scenario. The scenario was, you wake up in the morning and you go to work because it pays the bill. Are you happy with this job? Not really. Does it pay the bills? Yes. And you have another choice, waking up in the morning and going to do something totally out of character, something that you always kept quiet. You don't want anyone to hear about it because it may look ridiculous, embarrassing, whatever. But in your mind and in your heart, when you think about it, does it make you feel good? Do you say to yourself, oh, I would love to do that. I know that I can do that all day long. And I will say, I can't believe I'm getting paid for that because I love it so much. So both scenarios, you get paid, okay? One of the jobs, it's there. It's maybe it's something you've done for a long time. It's some kind of it's security, basically. And maybe the other job, in order to shift to that, you have to start all over. But at the end of the day, you're going to do something that you love. Now imagine that. Why would you keep living your life day in, day out, doing something that you don't really love, or doing something because there's other expectations? And you don't feel alive. You don't feel like that it gives you, it doesn't have value. And you don't feel like you're growing. You don't feel like you're thriving, and you're not inspired, and you're not happy, but it pays the bills. And maybe it makes someone else happy. And that's not even genuine happiness, but that's another story. And in this case, maybe you have to start all over. Maybe you're not going to earn as much, but you're going to be so much, A, you're going to be happier, B, you're going to be successful because you're going to be doing something that you love. If you're happy doing what you're doing, you are already successful. And that's another thing. That's another point. What does success mean to you? Does it mean the dollar sign? Does it mean the amount of money you have in the bank? Or does it mean it's successful because you're happy? You come home and you feel at peace, at ease, it only makes sense to say that when you're happy, you deal with issues so much better. You react to them so much better. Everything becomes so much easier to handle and to tolerate at certain points. I mean, we're not supposed to live a life of and tolerate so many things. But stuff like that happens. Like now, COVID time, we're tolerating the situation. We're tolerating so many things. The fact that nothing makes sense anymore, that's something we're tolerating right now, and it's part of our life, and we have to make sense out of it. So when you make a choice, you have to go a little deeper and ask yourself more questions. But I find that people are afraid to ask themselves those questions. They just want to gloss over, and just like, let's jump to the next thing. Let's move on to the next thing that's going to preoccupy my mind, get my mind off of that, because I don't want to deal with that. I just want some kind of entertainment right now to keep my mind preoccupied. And you can do that all day long. You can go from one thing to another, from visiting friends or going to sleep or smoking pot or watching TV or just like gossiping and just basically being a part of the Ain't It Awful club, and and live your whole life like that. You could. Many people do. But is that what you want? There's a reason why you're here right now with me. There's a reason why you're listening to this, because maybe you want to change. Maybe you want to change, but the change is up here. Okay, the change is how you look at things, how you think about things. If you keep telling yourself, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, then you won't. You're just gonna maybe go to the next workshop and the next course and the next this and the next that, but you're not going to actually take action and change. And I'm here to tell you that it can be done. It can be done. I was there, and I did all those. I feel like I made many mistakes in the past, and I know I'll do more, maybe less, not as much, but I remember I just wanted to skip all that. I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to, I just want to skip the hard stuff. I don't want to dig deeper. I don't want to ask more questions. Sometimes I would be in such denial. I wouldn't want to just listen to I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to hear what people say, people that were older and wiser. I didn't want to hear about it. And because I knew everything. I knew everything. I was stubborn. And of course, the outcome was my life. And that was a picture of, okay, these are the choices that you made. Now you have to deal with it. Don't beat yourself up too much. Yes, you can look at it as, okay, this is what I've done. That's where I went. This is what happened. In order for me to feel better, in order for me to be in a different place, I need to do ABC. I need to look at something. I need to ask myself questions. I need to write down how I feel. I need to see, okay, which way can I go with this? What can I do? I keep hearing sky's the limit, and oh, that's a cliche. People that always say that this is a cliche and that's a cliche are people that are just resisting. They don't want to hear about it because it sounds too peachy. It sounds, oh yeah, right, blah, 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 because they don't want to take action and they don't want to get out of the comfort zone. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do the work. But if you do the work, you're going to be somewhere else. And yes, you have to be equipped with patience. So breaking habits and breaking patterns is it's not something easy. And yes, you can sit and say, oh, that's easier said than done, but it's really up here. Again, it's the decision that you make is right away. It's not a decision that takes years. If you want to make a decision, if you want to change something, if you want to feel something else, you want to do something else, then you do it. Okay, if I want to be blonde tomorrow, I'm going to go to the hairdresser and I'm going to ask to be blonde. But what it takes for me is to get up and go to the hairdresser and take action. So I took action and I did something because I wanted something else. Okay, what do you have to do to change your circumstances, to change your state of being? If you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, if you feel sad, if you feel lost, if you feel disconnected, or on the other hand, attached to something, and it's an unhealthy attachment, or it's an unhealthy habit, or unhealthy environment, or whatever it is that is negative, and you want to change it, what do you need to do? So it's not only patience, but it's also, and first of all, clarity. You need clarity. Do you have that clarity with you? Do you have that time to sit with yourself and try to make sense of it all in your own world? You can't fix the world right now. You can't fix the world, period. You know which world you can fix? You can fix your world, okay? Your world, right here, right now. This is what you can fix. And this is something that was told to me years ago when someone asked me once, what do you want? And I said, I want to change the world. I want to fix the world. I want it to be like this and like that. And this mentor told me, the world that you want to fix is your world. It's right here inside. That's what you want to fix. It's not out there. And I'm here to tell you that it was a journey. It's still a journey. But I was there. I was that person. I said, oh my God, what do you mean? How can I do that right now? I mean, what do you mean my world? I mean, I didn't get it, And but it's true. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're searching. We're searching for us. We're searching for the clarity. We're searching to connect to who we are, to understand ourselves, our world, to have that clarity. And from that clarity, there's a sense of calmness. There's a sense of, okay, sit, relax, take a breather. Let's see what we have here, and then you take your little notebook and then you write stuff down and then you start to get to know yourself. So really, you're building a relationship with yourself slowly. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, wow, there's only one like you. Isn't that wonderful? Let's see what you're all about. I mean, who are you? Who is this person? And it's interesting because something happened to us when we grew up. And we basically, if you think about it, we grow up in an environment with a family of some sort, someone that raises us, and that someone is a person. Our parents are people, our grandparents, everyone we know, friends, family, they're all people. And for some reason, we grow up thinking, our parents were supposed to be perfect. And why weren't they perfect? And we grow up angry. And really is what it is that you end up understanding, if you're lucky enough, you have the awareness that really you're angry at yourself. And so it's a process. You have to let that go. You find your identity, you find yourself, you have that clarity. And that's when a really wonderful journey begins. And that's the self-discovery. And that self-discovery brings you um, the vision. That's when you can answer who you are. Everyone is having such a hard time answering that question, who are you? And one of my videos, I was talking about that. And it's not really about giving someone an answer, but it's really giving yourself that answer. There's like a knowing when someone's saying, hey, Tamara, do you know who you are? And I smile because I have the knowing, because I got to know that part of myself. I found it. I loved it. I discovered it. I dissected it. I asked it a million questions. Excuse me. And so it's fascinating. It's remarkable. So the clarity brings you the vision, and when you can start using your imagination, a lot of wonderful things happen. You become you find that inner happiness, because that really the true genuine happiness comes from within. And when you reach that and you start to get to know it, you become inspired. You let go of those ghosts I call fear. I used to be such a fear-based person. Scared. I was scared of everything. And slowly it goes away. And one day you wake up and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I used to be scared of that. I used to be afraid of that. I used to be intimidated by that. And where is it? It's all gone. And so when all those clouds of fear go away, everything becomes so crystal clear. And then you can be, and so you have that inner happiness, and from that inner happiness you become inspired. And when you're inspired, you're creative, and that's where the growth is. Those are more like the fruit, the creation. The growth starts when you're having a hard time, breaking through those the habits and the bad patterns, or the unhealthy patterns, if you will. And so the whole journey, the whole process of personal transformation, personal growth is wonderful. The bad is good. It's part of it. It's part of it. So it can't be all that bad. If you can look at it like that, then maybe you can embrace it and understand that it's inevitable. It's part of the process. It's like night is part of the day. If we didn't have night, how would we appreciate day? So it's not that it has to be bad, but what you view as bad, all of a sudden is perceived in a different way when you're over that, when you go from fear to courage, from being judgmental to being someone with empathy. Then you understand all of a sudden that when there's a situation presents itself, you all of a sudden see that when you were there, you saw this as the end of the world. It was so scary, and oh my God, you couldn't even think straight. You couldn't come up with an answer. And when you go to the other side and you transform, and that situation, the same situation, presents itself, it's a piece of cake for you. You say, oh, I know how to tackle that. I know how to handle that. It's okay. Okay. You operate different. You become assertive. And that is so important. So there's no like bad reaction or a sinking feeling or anxiety or panic attacks. All that is just like gone. Now, wouldn't you love that? So, back to the topic. Making choices that make us happy. You wouldn't want to consciously keep choosing something that is just makes you feel bad, or makes you feel um, that you just did something against your own grain. And why would you keep doing that? If you honor yourself, and which is part of the process of growing and understanding, finding yourself, loving yourself, forming your own set of values. You become loyal to those set of values. And then from there, your choices come from a genuine place. They come from a vulnerable place. And your respect for yourself shows. And when you show up like that, then people around you notice that, they get it. They either respect it or run away from you because they can't be like that right now, and you're rubbing them the wrong way, basically. So how does that make you look like your choices right now? Do you do it like on automatic pilot? Do you like make choices without thinking it through, or just whatever it is? It can be anything. You want to wake up in the morning, you keep making yourself coffee with Splenda when you really, really want a little bit of sugar, okay? Or you won't have the cookie because you must eat the yogurt. Let me tell you something. When you're in a state of mind of clarity with yourself, you're engaged with yourself, you're connected to yourself, you honor yourself, it only makes sense that whatever it is that you do is going to be in moderation. I'm not going to eat a pile of chocolate right now because I don't want to do that to myself. But do I want to have that Madeline with my coffee in the morning? Absolutely. And I will. And I'll have it and I'll enjoy it. And I'm not going to keep beating myself up because I had that and I didn't have the yogurt. I'll have the yogurt later. But what my point is that you have to feel good with yourself. And when you feel good with yourself, you act accordingly. You won't kill yourself too much at the gym. You won't eat junk. You're not going to subject yourself to that because you're precious, and you're going to take care of yourself, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to celebrate yourself, and you're just going to feel wonderful. And by the way, when we eat and feel like that, the food digests so much better. You already know that when you eat and you're stressed, that's just like chaos in your body. And poor thing, why would you do that? It's abuse. And the body communicates to you, obviously. The body is like a constant reminder of, is it agreeing with you? Is it not agreeing with you? It's really, it's our vehicle, and it shows us if it's happy with us or not. It's like a mirror. So think about that. I can think about so many aspects when it comes to the choices that we make. It could be something as little as, what do you want to put in your coffee? It can be big as, I'm going to even say, if you don't do that, if you don't sit with yourself, if you don't ask yourself those honest questions, it's a choice. That's also a choice that you're making. And that choice takes a toll on you. Do you think that just because you're pretending something is not there, it's not there? It's there. Even if you're not even voicing it to yourself. It's here, it's here, it's affecting you. It shows on your face, it shows on your demeanor, it shows what you radiate, your energy, and that's law of attraction. If are you kidding yourself? You know, I used to be called once the real you life coach, and the tagline was, "Are you full of shit?" And people got a laugh from that. People liked it, but they also resented it. Why? Because it was true. I mean, I was full of shit, and it's a very legitimate question. So it's okay to ask yourself that question, and it's okay to admit, and it's okay to see, okay, what do we have here? And it's not about transforming yourself into the saint, or after you transform, you become an angel, or flawless. No, I mean, bad stuff happen, and I get those down days. It's just like so much more manageable. You what it is, the end result is that you live your life and you feel like you can manage it. It doesn't drive you nuts. It doesn't, it's, you see the beauty in life, and there's so much beauty in life. It's life all of a sudden seems to be, pleasant, surprising, intriguing. I used to be the person that dreads waking up in the morning. I did not want, it's not that I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't have the energy for another day. I just want to I just want to sleep. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. I want to wake up next month, and, I don't want to deal with this, and I don't want to deal with that. And oh, my escapism was sleeping, for sure. And if I don't wake up early in the morning now, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel in the morning, I feel like I'm waking up. I'm like, thank you for a new day. Thank you so much. What's going to happen today? Let's see. Who am I going to talk to? Where is that going to lead me to? What's going to happen? So it's totally different. The outlook about life is different. It just changes. It doesn't change you, or we all have our gifts, our talents, our personality, our humor, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't change your makeup. It changes the way you deal with life. And if you deal well with life, you're going to be fun to be around, and you're going to attract more like-minded people, and it's just going to be, you're having a party. Every day is like a party, and it's fun. It's fun to be nice to people also, because people need that. But I'm getting carried away right now, but I'm just gonna, there's so many topics, right now. But when you think about your choices, ask yourself, what do you want to choose to do? Would you like to sit with yourself? Would you like to look into yourself a little more, to get to know yourself? Who are you? What are you? What makes your boat float? What brings you alive? What makes you feel like, oh, I want more of that, or I could do this all day long. That's what I want to do. Okay, I don't care how it looks to you. I don't care what you're. It's not that I don't care. It's not that you don't care, but you care more about what you care about. Okay, and it's like I see people around me as like they need. It's like they need permission to do something they love. Okay, I mean, but I get it, because you conditioned yourself to that. But give yourself permission to uncondition yourself, and to condition yourself to something else. Leave that door open. It's not. Don't label yourself. Don't put yourself in a box and say, "Well, I decided to do that," or "I went to school for many years to do that." Well, guess what? Life is full of surprises, and you can change, and you can, change is part of life. And the only thing really that you can rely on in life is change, as much as people don't want to change. But give yourself, free yourself, let yourself be beautiful, let yourself express yourself, see what you love, what you want, and it doesn't matter. It's, I mean, as of course, as long as you're not hurting anyone, you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting anyone. You want to change your mind, change your mind. And it doesn't have to be a secret. It doesn't have to be behind closed doors. It doesn't have to be that you know how many people do something like behind closed doors or secretly. They're why do people do something secretly? They're doing something that they love and they don't want to be judged. Okay? And I'm not talking about something that's abnormal or something that, God forbid, might hurt anyone. I'm just talking about, let yourself go. Give that soul freedom, because if you feel like you're living in a cage, then that cage is something that you created. No one is putting that cage on you. No one is twisting your arm. And I'm assuming my audience tonight are adults. Yes, I'm not talking about little kids. I'm talking about adults. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need mommy and daddy's permission. You don't need your friends or your spouse's permission. Yes, you can talk to them about it. Yes, you can speak out loud. But the point is, you. What do you want? And make your choices accordingly. And also, when you make a choice, whatever that choice is, take ownership of it. Be responsible for your choice. Okay? Because when we take responsibility for our choices, then we can't really bitch and moan about it and complain to someone else about it. We have to complain to ourselves. You're not happy with your choices? Okay, change. Okay? I don't have to give you permission. You have to give yourself permission. I'm just here to tell you that I've done it. And it's wonderful, okay? And it's amazing. I've never felt so good. Never. I've never felt so good, so connected, so alive, and so wanting to be out there and talking about it with everyone, because I did discover my passion. I did discover my talents and so on, purpose, if you will. And I'm engaged to it, and I can do it all day long, and feel so energized at the end of the day, because I made that choice after I found myself. Okay? And that's another thing I would like to point out. When we are searching, what are we searching for? Usually we're searching for meaning. What am I looking for? It's like I'm running after my tail. What am I looking for? What is it that I need? I keep, it doesn't matter how much I have, material wise, how much money I have, how much, things. I can't seem to fill up the void. And there's always some kind of void. Well, it's because you're looking for you. You're looking for you. So find yourself. I'm here hopefully as an inspiration. I hope that I'm inspiring you to do the same. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I also believe that everything happens for a reason, and people that were meant to be in our lives are going to be in our lives. People that are going to want to be happy for you and celebrate with you will, and they will stay part of your life. And people that won't, because they won't, or for whatever reason, then they won't. People come and go. But you have to live with yourself until the end of days. So wouldn't you want to be happy every single day until the rest of your life? Yes, I assume that you're saying, why not? And all right, I think I'm going to wrap this up right now. And I am going to leave a few minutes if you have any questions, if you have any comments. Of course, you can always visit um, my website, my Facebook page, TZ Talks, Tamar Zion Coaching, Messenger, and of course, right here. So this was great talking to you. I'm looking forward to our next sessions. And I will stop right here. Avivit, take it away.